Hello you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. Please do not forget to click that red subscribe button and also click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post. Igamalam was Tabile, by the way. Yeah, so guys, I thought that let me shoot this video, which I do know a couple of us will relate, because I've heard so many stories of nanny dramas. Okay, I don't know whether you have a nanny that went MIA on you, or maybe you had a nanny that just sort of like, gave you the attitude, but in any case, let me tell you guys about my story. Now, as I did mention that I've heard these stories so many times, people talking about how they had issues with their nannies and whatnot. And so I'm not going to say I thought I'd never have, but honestly, when my nanny was new, I just thought, wow, what a sweet lady. I'm just never going to have any issues with this lady. Was I not wrong? Okay, I guess I was, because wow. So anyway, this is what happened. So if you guys are an OG on the channel, you do know that I do have like a son who recently turned a year. So happy belated birthday to the little one. Please just drop like a birthday cake down below in the comment section to wish him a happy birthday. I have not really done anything or like a party for him as yet. I will, because I'm waiting. There's actually a couple of us basically about November that we just want to have like one big thing. Although I'm definitely going to do like a smash cake photo shoot. I want that for him, and then maybe have like a bride. But I'm not going to be like a big deal. But it is a big deal. I mean, he's turning one already. Who recently turned one. But daddy wants to sort of like throw something for him. But I don't know. So basically, we're still discussing that. Anywho, Angi collab. So eventually, I give birth, I go on maternity leave, and then I go back to work, right? After 4 months, my sister's here, assist me with the young one, which again, if you're old in the channel, you do know this story, right? My sister's here, and then eventually comes time where she has to go. So eventually she leaves, right? And then I had to look for a nanny. At first I thought that, the boy was going to stay down at home, which he did for like a couple of, I think 2 weeks or something, and then he went to daddy's house for another 2 weeks, and then they came back, right? So when they got back, we had to look for a nanny, remember? So luckily we found one from Pietermaritzburg, and then I called her, right? I called her and I explained everything to her, that listen, I was given your number, you were recommended, I need a helper to assist me with my child and, the house and whatever. And then, so this is the amount of money that I have, because now I asked, from the previous employer, or rather the previous family that she worked with, and they did give me a figure. So I was like, okay, cool, at least I have an idea now. Mind you, I took a couple of things into consideration. I don't know whether that's how it works or anything. So then, firstly, Uguti, she was going to leave home and come this side. Secondly, we are literally a family of 4, and, we stay in like like a smaller apartment basically. So then I was like, okay, cool, this is the figure that I have, are you okay with it? Because remember, before I could even take umuntu from where they're staying, I have to discuss the money with them, because then if they do not agree, I can't just now bring someone lana and then start discussing monies when they get here, because what if they don't agree with the figure, or rather they're not comfortable with how much I was going to pay them. So fine, eventually she says, look, it's okay, I'm fine, I'm okay with that figure, it doesn't matter, right? So then we were like, okay, cool, so this is the day in which daddy and baby are coming back. Are you okay with the day? So she's like, look, it's okay, I believe I can make the day. So then we were like, okay, cool. And then come the day of, now they have to come here, right? Okay, says, I can't come today because there were a couple of things that I have to, finish la pangaseka. So I was like, okay, look, it's fine. It makes sense, because you're going to a place Ekude, because it's far here from Maritzburg. So anyway, we were like, okay, cool. And then eventually the day comes and we need to go fetch her now from the rank. And okay, cool. She calls. We all go. We're excited to meet this person, because remember, I've never met the person. We just spoke the phone in and that was it. So then we meet her, she comes, she's tired. Look, she's a cool lady, she's a pretty lady, and she's not that old. She's probably in her let me say late 30s, if not early 40s, right? Because honestly, I've never asked her how old, she is, because I mean, she looked at least in the mids, she wasn't that old, like being I know mama or gogo or anything, which I wish she was, but anyway, she wasn't. And so she says, okay, she comes, she rests. I was like, okay, cool. Wake up in the morning. And then she comes to me and we have a meeting to say, now, let's remember, we're meeting each other for the first time. We have a meeting. We iron out a couple of things. And she asked me, what do you need me to help you with around the house? So I was like, honestly, just do whatever you feel like doing, because I do not have like a timetable of, Monday, Tuesday, you're going to, I don't know, mop the house or whatever. Just do whatever you feel like doing, because remember, your key business here is the child. So honestly, I'm not going to be mad at you if I come back one day, maybe you did not cook, you decided not to cook. It's not like it's, your duty and everything. So if you feel like it, cool, you can do it. But honestly, I do not have any timetable for you. Just do whatever you feel like doing, okay? So then we were fine with that. We both agreed and whatever. And fine, she started doing whatever it is that she had to do. And then Zahambi too, she's okay. The baby sort of like warmed up to her. They were cool buddies together, and I was happy. And then come a time where she got paid for the first time, and she said she obviously, we discussed after payment, going home and how many days and whatever are you going to take off and stuff like that. So she was like, okay, cool. And then she got paid, she went home, and she had explained to me that she's going to come back on a Tuesday because she has to go to a clinic because she has like medication that she's taking. So I was like, okay, look, it's fine. Because also so I don't expect someone to just be like, rotate around us. She also has her own kids, family, and a partner and whatever. So then it was cool. She came back and we were fine. She was like to me, I went to the clinic, they gave me A, B, and C. And, because honestly, she had told me about her situation. I was like, I even recommended it. And I said to her, actually, my sister has the same thing, you know what I mean? But because I always say to her, she must stop taking grandpa, So, okay, fine. And then we were cool. She continued doing what she had to do and stuff like that. And life went on. Come second month, she did what she had to do. We were all fine. And honestly, if there were any issues, we'd have a meeting, iron them out, and then we were cool, right? And then cool. She continued working. Come the third month. Now, things started getting shaky mid-month because she was giving us hints in jail, she's going to leave. She was like, if I don't come back, and mind you, she's not saying all these things to me. She's saying these things to Daddy because remember, she's from the same side with Daddy. I'm assuming that's why she was comfortable with him more than me, because Mina, she had just met me here, and then she was more used to Daddy because then she was recommended by his mom and stuff like that. So we were like, okay, and what are you guys going to do? She says, if I just leave, because you guys just leave the house and not tell me where you guys are going. And then I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think that was a big deal, especially because, most of us and me going to work, right? But I guess if that's what she wants, it's okay. I mean, it's not a deal breaker or anything. And so then we started doing that again, exactly, sapoma or whatever. And then she was okay with it. And then secondly, okay, after some time, Gay had gone. And then she was like, you know what? And she's saying all these things again to Daddy, not me. What would you guys do if I left because I feel like this money that you guys are giving me is too little? I am not satisfied with it. I know according to law, this is what I'm supposed to be getting. And also, I feel like I'm going to leave and I'm going to find like a rental apartment, and then I'm just going to rent and I'm going to come here on a daily. And I was like, make it make sense to me, because firstly, you complain about saying imali ngane, and then secondly, you are saying uzohambi yotola like angel that you're going to rent. So you're going to use the same money and you're going to rent, and then you're going to buy food. How does that work? But I was like, anyway, if she's okay with this and if that's what she wants, it's fine. But also remember, there's no meeting, right? So Daddy says to her, okay, if that's how you feel, I feel like when Mommy comes back, then you need to convene a meeting if that's what you want, and then we're all going to discuss this, and then we're going to discuss how things are going to go moving forward. So she was like, no, I do not want to have a meeting. And then I'm like, how? But since when now? Because whenever there are issues that we have to talk about, if it's coming from our side, we call a meeting. And if it's coming from her side, she also does the same. So all of a sudden now she's not willing to be calling meetings, nothing. She doesn't want Nje to meet at all. And then Jiggy, starting from that conversation, Ukeli, okay, like asakhulumisa umuntu endlini sekuyavuka ekuseni you greet her, she keeps quiet, and umotu like ubingelela ithulele akasabingelele umuntu sebesana nje izinto ayenzayo. Okay, fine. I was like, you know what, maybe uyagogisha kosamukela, because we know sonke is when you are going through a lot. So then I said to myself, maybe she's going through stuff and she's just mad for the time being, but also it's not something that she's comfortable discussing. That's okay, that's fine. And then so until I think the last time I heard her speak was a Thursday. It was a Thursday. Come Friday, I greet her, she keeps quiet, and she's always just hiding in a room. Nami, that's what I did. I was like, okay, because maybe she's going through a lot, let me not be in her face. Can you imagine not being in her face in my house? Okay, not be in her face. So Nami, I do whatever I do. If I'm in the, the common areas or the common rooms, the lounge, the kitchen, the bathroom, I do whatever I have to do, and then I go back to my room. Okay, so fine, we lived. We slept, cool. And then come Saturday, I'm in the kitchen, I'm doing something in the kitchen, and she sort of like walks out the house. No greeting, says nothing. I mean, it's not like I was going to stop her if she had said, down, or park, or whatever. But she says nothing. She sort of like just leaves the house, and she was gone. And for like the whole day, she was gone, basically. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe Usasha or Moy. I mean, she's also an adult. She knows where she's going. I don't think she'll just, uphold me angash. But also my worry was now, I mean, this person is more like I'm responsible for her since she's here. What if something happens to her somewhere? But I guess because it's okay, no, it's fine. I'm just gonna leave and not say a word, which I was okay with. Because honestly, I think I was okay because I didn't have to be, running away from someone in the house, or I didn't have to be dealing with an adult who's behaving like a child, according to me. Because since when do you now just sit with them? I've never had this, it's not like she's my partner or anything, but I've never had a situation where I had to live no muntu and and so it's fine. She went, and then I remember it was load shedding, and okay, fine. So I was hanging clothes in the balcony. I'd washed the impahla zengane, and so now I was like, okay, fine, let me hang these clothes outside in the balcony on that hanging thingy. You see that thing that you buy? I bought it off Take a Lot. You all stretch it out and then you start hanging stuff and whatever. So I hung the clothes there. As I was hanging clothes, did I not see a car park? Like not directly opposite the gate or anything, or by the gate, but it parked in isn't, So I was like, hi, but my thing said to me, you know what? My sixth sense kicked in, and I was like, that must be her. And so she was, luckily this person crosses the road, and indeed it was her. And then I said to Daddy, Haibo, Apamanga, because I've been saying during the day, I was like, no man, this behavior, go corner off, because you can't just all of a sudden now start behaving like this. We were fine, for the 2 months that you were here. Now all of a sudden, when you are not talking to anyone, you do not want Nje to be engaged with or anything. And I said to myself, that must be her. So when I looked quickly, because there's like a tree, right? A big tree. So when I looked through Lapayane window, I was like, hi man, that is her, right? So indeed it was her, but then I pretended not to see her, because, normally when Dala is doing something that's sort of like, you're not comfortable with, you are the one, you are more likely to be hiding. Obviously, that's exactly what I did. I just looked the other direction, and I started hanging clothes now facing the other direction, because I was like, you know what, at least let her be free. I don't know why, because again, remember, her having someone has nothing to do with us lately. Honestly, nothing. But I don't know, I guess she felt like the whole thing was wrong, or Nami, I felt like the whole thing was just, I don't know, being a number it wasn't making sense, because firstly, you have a person cool, then why are we the ones suffering now? And all that, what is that? So indeed, for like quite, maybe like 30 minutes outside. I don't know where she was hanging. And then she stays wherever she was, and then comes into the house, and we are sitting in the lounge. We are playing Scrabble. She comes into the house, no greeting, nothing. She goes straight to the room in which she was staying. She shuts the door behind her. And I was like, wow, okay. And let me tell you, to be honest, this whole thing was starting to just irritate me because it wasn't sitting well. I feel like it was not healthy, and I felt for my kids because my daughter comes back to school early, and she comes into the house and she meets this person who doesn't want to say anything, and I just felt to her because I come back a bit later. So now I'm thinking to myself, the whole time my daughter's sitting there, probably she's crying, she's uncomfortable. Oh, what can you imagine, the pain and everything. So okay, cool. She then goes into the room where Vala. She wakes up the next day. Again, same story. Nami at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to avoid her in all means possible because I felt like I was taking the toll, because I'll go to work, come back and look, when you come back home, you expect to just relax and just cool down, calm down, and enjoy yourself basically. Now I'm coming back from home. Firstly, I am because I'm just like, I can't be going back to that lion again or the dragon, because why is she not talking? Like, honestly. So fine, Sunday it happens, Monday I go to work, fine. And the good thing now is that Daddy was on leave at the time, so he was in the house during the time I was not there, because I felt like a relief, because then I was starting to worry about my kids. If this person does not speak to us, how do I know how she behaves with the children when I'm not there or when we're not there, right? So, and then again, I go to work and I come back, and luckily the next day was payday, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. Of course, I did not want to fire her or anything, because I just felt like une family that she's feeding, she has kids that she's taking care of, Ekaya. And if I now just sort of like out of the blue say to her, listen, tomorrow's going to be your last paycheck, what am I saying? What kind of human being I am? Will I be, rather? Look, I was not comfortable with the whole thing, yes, but again, I just sort of like, at least let me give her like a month notice. I feel like that's decent, because I can't just shut you down like that. She probably has plans, she probably has a budget and everything. So cool, okay. So the next day, Daddy comes back, because we had gone in the morning, because I just needed to withdraw her money and give it to her, and then she would decide what she's going to do with it. Honestly, I felt like Nami, when I looked at things, because I think it was like on a Tuesday on the day, I was like, I don't see her waiting till Lehlane to leave. If she's not happy, I see her just leaving immediately. And also, Nami, that's what I wanted deep down inside, because I felt like this whole thing was starting to be for all of us. And so eventually she came back, and then when Daddy came back and gave her the money, she had already said, I thought so then again, Daddy gives her the money, she packs her stuff, and then Ugeli was out. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Honestly, that's what I said, because I know that I was going to struggle, but I said to myself, thank you, Jesus, because the whole thing was starting to be unhealthy. Gandhi, the good thing that I did was I'd already gone to like a daycare, guys, on a Monday, and inquired about space for my son, because I knew that, the way that things are, she was not going to come back. She was probably going to leave as soon as I gave her the money, which she really did. And was I sad that she left? No, I wasn't, because of the relationship that was, that we then had. It was not healthy for anyone. But yeah, that's how she left, and that's me and my nanny drama. And also, you guys, comment down below, put your hand up if you also had an issue like this. And maybe again in the future, if you've had other nannies, how did you solve it? I don't know, but thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe if you have not, because I did see that a couple of you guys are watching but they're not subscribing. But why? Okay, actually, subscription, guys, is free. You just click the button, you press to subscribe, and you pay nothing. So please do that, and also share the video, guys, with your friends that have had issues like me. And I'm just glad with my one was not like a situation where you think was the situation but only to find that you should go happy. And because I've had stories of that just go on a Friday, you thinking, okay, fine, this person's gonna come back on Sunday, and they never do, and they just drop you in the ocean like that. At least for us, we sort of like saw the build up. I don't see her coming back because of A, B, and C. But in any case, you guys, this video is getting too long. Thank you so much for watching, and again, please do share the video and comment down below. Let's just share, guys, have the conversation with when how did you deal with it and all that. And also, please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm at Preshicom with the same handle that I have here on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. Bye.